Shadow of the Erdtree is the new DLC released for Elden Ring and was one of the most anticipated releases of the year. Everyone was wondering if Daddy Miyazaki and FromSoft could create something to come close to how good the original game was. Could they capture the magic of playing through the base game again? You're goddamn right they did. New weapons, new bosses, and my toilet after a drunk 3 AM Taco Bell run. Oh, he grabbed me! No, he's flushing me!
No.
He's flushing me! He's flushing me! It takes everything that made the base game great and somehow makes it better. Except the bugs, those things can suck my dick. But the drip is stupendous.
Oh my god, what are you wearing?
What do you mean? This is the new Gucci fit, bro. Some people thought that the DLC would be too small because Miyazaki said that it would be roughly the size of Limgrave. Yeah, and my dick is the same size as a Pringles can. Size of Limgrave, my ass. This shit is massive. Miyazaki must be taking us all for big dumb idiots because that was a straight up lie. They made an entirely new game and called it a DLC. Unlike some companies who make a shitty DLC and charge $70 for it year after year. Not naming any names. If you enjoyed Elden Ring, then this DLC delivered exactly that and more, and you will love it. Unless you're a whiny little bitch boy who put a negative review because hard game was too hard. People thought that after not playing the game for 2 years, they could run in with a level 200 characters and steamroll the DLC because it wouldn't be hard enough. FromSoft took that personally and decided to make the most difficult DLC they've ever created. Okay, bro, I'm sorry for talking shit. But because the only correct way to play Elden Ring for you people is no magic, no summons, no weapons, no bitches, blindfolded, balls tied to the ceiling, and your mom screaming in your ear about how much of a disappointment you are, you refuse to use the tools that the game gives you to make the game easier and more fun. I was joking about that last one. For some of you.
I'm a strength user. The game's hard.
The game is so difficult. This is Winaldo, but the DLC is too hard to be fun, comments come flowing in. I would make a joke about this, but Kai Cenat said it best.
I'm assing your ass. But your ass, though.
I actually want to thank all the people who complained about the DLC. Some of us need to be the reason this is impressive. So if you have more patience than an iPad kid with ADHD, and you aren't crying about difficulty like a Drake fan when Not Like Us plays, then I can tell you why this is the highest rated DLC of all time. If you haven't played it yet and don't want to be spoiled, then click away now because I won't be leaving out details. The rest of you better buckle up because this shit fucks. Normally in a DLC review, you wouldn't talk about gameplay, but Elden Ring is just built like that, so they added 100 new weapons, and some of them are the most broken in the game. Want to use Big Bonk Sword? Now they bonk harder. Want to use a katana? What if we supersized it? Want to throw hands? They aren't broken but still cool as shit. Going from base game weapons to DLC builds feels like going from a children's water pistol to a goddamn tank. Not to mention the 20,000 new bleed builds that feel like you're deleting the enemies from the game files. You would think that being the ruler of the world or a literal god and all these new ways to beat the shit out of enemies will allow you to come into the DLC and make every enemy your personal punching bag. Right? Wrong. Basic enemies can bitch slap your ass back to the lands between, and boss fights have the ability to put your ass in Amazon's same-day shipping. Destination Cock Torture City, population U. Oh my god, did Melania teach you that? Remember the giant fire bowl that people thought would be Fire Giant 2.0? It's not even a boss. Also, there's 8 of them. Everything in this DLC is perfectly crafted by Miyazaki to kick your ass and twist your prostate in new ways you never thought possible. Without upgrades, you'll die faster than it takes a Chainsaw Man fan to bark at a Makima photo. But this is where the new Scooby-Doo fragments come in. Schizophrenic fragments increase your damage output and damage negation. To translate for strength users, Big Bonk do bigger bonk, and Enemy Bonk do less bonk. You may be asking, who are all these people trying to beat you like Ray Rice in an elevator? Why are we even here in the first place? Why is there a naked man with a sword? To answer all of these questions, we need to talk about the lore. So get your pens and your 5th grade history notebook because this shit is crazy. Trust me, I'm an expert. I watched one Vadi video. There's a being from another dimension beyond the understanding of puny human brains known as the Greater Will. It sent finger gods to do its bidding in the lands between because it was too lazy to go down there itself. The finger gods tell a woman named Marika that if she does what it says, she can become a god, and she agrees because that sounds cool as fuck. But one day while getting groceries, a group of people called the Horn Scent took people from her village and stuffed them into giant jars so the villagers could ascend to sainthood. Why? I don't fucking know. The naked man with the sword is a Horn Scent, so I don't think logic applies to them. Marika didn't appreciate this, so she sent her son Messi and his army from Argentina to burn their cities to the ground and turn them into shish kebabs. Marika then made her way to the giant dead people gate and became god by creating the Elden Ring. Roll credits. She didn't want anyone anyone else becoming cool like her, so she sealed the entire country in a bedsheet and left everyone there to die, including her son, but we'll get back to him. Years pass, and she has children with a few different people, including herself somehow, but we're just gonna move past that. One of her daughters, Ronnie, gets fed up with how fucked up her family is and murders her mom's favorite son, so America gets mad and shatters the Elden Ring for some reason. This starts a war between all of her children who are fighting to gather the Infinity Stones and become God. During this war, one of her adult sons, Mohg, kidnaps her 12-year-old son, Mikola, and locks him in a blood cocoon. You can see how this is getting weird. This is where we come into play, the Tarnished. Our goal is to kill America's children to take their great runes and become Elden Lord. After killing the coolest dude in the game, Radahn, and Dr. Disrespect's favorite boss, Mohg Lester, we are met by a knight named Letta, who tells us to touch the bloody hand. It's totally sanitary and definitely won't give you AIDS.
Touch the hand.
I'm fingering Mikola.
Almost spit out my drink.
Now that we have the totally accurate lore dump out of the way, we can start talking about the cool shit in the DLC. I talked about it back in the intro, but I don't think I truly got my point across that this DLC is big as hell. They pulled the same shit they did in the base game, where you start with only a piece of the map visible, and grab one more piece only for the map to triple in size. Holy shit. Miyazaki must have a hard-on for hiding areas behind optional content, because what do you mean this ruin gives you access to almost half of the map, including half of a legacy dungeon? Why is there a catacomb with a fucking horror game behind it? And if you complete this cave, there's a whole fucking mountain with the coolest boss in the game at the top of it. Don't worry, we'll get to you, Egon. The art direction of every area makes the scenery feels like it was pulled straight from a painting. They saw how much people were in awe from the site when they first exited Stormvale and got to look at Liurnia. So they gave you that same feeling as soon as you get into the DLC. Holy fuck. And then they did it 5 more times. If you only played the DLC to look at the views, it would still be worth it, because not only are they prettier than a bitch, they are all unique and feel like entirely different worlds. All the kick-ass scenery makes exploration feel very relaxing, until it doesn't. It is one of my few gripes with the DLC, because if I search an entire area just to find a single smithy stone one more time, I swear to God. Don't get me wrong, certain areas of the map have so much shit going on and so many people throwing shit at you would think you're at an anime convention. But other areas are emptier than the words of a YouTuber apology video. By far the biggest offense is the map piece that unlocks this entire section of the map isn't even fucking up here. It's in the goddamn canyon below everything. You have to start all the way over at this pond, travel across the entire continent of Australia, and loop all the way around your mom's fat juicy ass just to find it outside of a rundown Denny's. But no matter which area of the map you're in, you can bet your ass there's a boss waiting to give you the biggest dick flattening of your life at the end of it. I could talk about every boss in every area individually, but I don't fucking feel like it. And NPC bosses can kiss my ass. Ancient Dragon Man? What kind of fucking off-brand DC superhero ass name is this? So instead I'm gonna go over the main bosses along with the NPC quests you can do, because they're fucking awesome.
My thoughts exactly, Egon.
The first boss that will beat your ass back to the base game is the Divine Dancing Beast Lion. It's just 2 dudes in a trench coat. This boss is annoying because just when you stop getting your tits slapped by his wild moves, he says fuck you and starts throwing lightning down your throat. It's a lot to handle, but you start to understand, no, fuck you again. Now he's throwing tornadoes at you and sending ice picks up your ass. If you get him low enough, he'll start spam switching elements more than a CSGO player weapon swaps. However, this is a fair boss, and none of his attacks are bullshit combos that are impossible to dodge. When you beat him, you get his head though, so all the pain was worth it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He gets a 7 out of 10. Continuing up the stairs to the next area, just kidding, that's blocked, we're going somewhere else. In the first area of the map, you will find 5 followers of Mikola. Talia, who is simping for Saint Trina.
I'm as weak as a kitten and thick as two.
Then how the fuck did you beat Mohg? More. He just vibes and collects things. Hornset.
Your kind are not forgiven.
Hey, what do you mean, your kind? Okay, fuck you, dude. He's a bitch, but he shows you where some Scalapini fragments are, so he's alright for now. Freya.
Lady Leda spoke of you.
Oh, she's talking about me?
I once fought alongside General Radahn.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to tell you, he's fucking dead. And Ansbach.
You must be the Tarnished,
What gave it away?
formerly in service to Lord Mohg. But now,
Do
like
I
you,
tell
are
them?
lost.
All of them have their own quests with their own endings, but that's not important right now, so we'll come back to them. Next, we have Castle Ensis, home of the next major boss, this bitch. Cue the PTSD from the Academy. What, is the actual boss gonna be like Renala's sister or something? You gotta be fucking kidding me. R'hllana is the next boss, and much like her sister is the leader of a foot fetish cult, she also has a fetish for cutting her balls into tiny pieces that she can throw into her Waffle House breakfast bowl for a little bit of spice. This fight is the first major hurdle blocking you from the rest of the DLC. DLC. Not really, there's a path to skip it, but that's bitch behavior and we don't do that around here. Most of the fights in this game feel like a genuine battle, while this one feels more like a dance. Except you don't get kicked off stage if you suck at dancing, you just fucking die. She is constantly dashing and spinning around you, forcing you to stay on your toes and pay attention. If you get too far away, she starts doing this magic bullshit, so don't do that. It is one of the few fights in the game that feels like you're actively participating the entire time, constantly switching between offense and defense, rather than just waiting for the boss to give an opening for an attack. And that's only the first phase. In phase 2, she decides to infuse her swords with fire and magic so she can kick your ass in 2 new languages. She can start a fire tornado if you're close, or she can send out many Dark Moon greatsword slashes if you back up. She can go fuck herself for that one, that's supposed to be my goddamn move. Her swings now also leave little explosions at the end, so that's cool, but at any time she may get sick of you not dying and decide to drop 3 nukes on your head and juggle you like a Street Fighter combo. But if you manage to beat her, then you get access to the coolest female armor set in the game, along with her swords, which are sick as fuck. She gets a 9 out of 10 only because there's no cutscene. With some sort of build up or story, she would easily be a 10 out of 10. You now get to meet the last 2 Miquella followers. Letta, the girl who told us to touch the bloody hand earlier, she's just following Miquella's footsteps, so whatever. And Dane, no dialogue, just emote and then throw hands with him. Brother, I know you like my fist in my mouth like this. He gives you his hat and kung fu if you win, so that's cool. When you get close to the next dungeon, it starts raining piss and wait, a great room broke? And a spell? Surprise! It's lore section part 2, so get your notebooks back out because the crazy shit just got crazier and shittier. So it turns out this little shit was actually casting spells on everyone, forced them to do what he wanted them to. I want to formally apologize to my boy Mohg. Miquella forced Mohg to kidnap him so that he could achieve his plans.
I did not have sexual relations with that man. I'm just kidding. I did. Possibly.
He was never the Moglester, he was the Miquelested. Congrats on beating the pedo allegations, Mohg. Unlike another certain someone this year, Miquella also casts a spell on all the NPCs you have met so far. You can find them all and see how they feel now that the spell is broken. Hornsent is still a bitch, just focused on killing Mesmer, so not much has changed there. Mort becomes depressed, so you can either help him through it or tell him to stay sad if you're a fucking monster. Then there's Talia.
If you find yourself weary of the weight of this life, then just give me the word.
Excuse me?
An eternal sleep is an elixir.
Are you alright, dude? Freya goes to a library where you help her figure out that you killed Radahn, but she doesn't get pissed, so he dodges a bullet there. Ansbach starts looking into what Miquella is planning and finds out that Miquella collected Mohg's dead body to use as a vessel like Ghetto's body. Can my boy catch a fucking break already? Lastly, we have Letta. Now that the spell is gone, does she A, question her loyalty, or B, stay on her current path? The answer is C. She decides to fucking kill everyone because this crazy bitch is a yandere for Miquella, and she wants you to decide who she kills first. Do we really have to kill someone?
I believe it wisest to eliminate the Hornsent.
Then why the fuck did you ask me in the first place? When she targets someone, you can choose to either help her or the person she is attacking. You can also summon Hornsent from the Mesmer fight, and she will move on from him. But Hornsent's a little bitch, so of course I helped Letta kill him. Her next target is Ansbach. I was okay with riding with the psycho murder woman when she wanted to kill Hornsent, but my boy Ansbach is where I draw the line. Whether you choose to help the old man or Toga from My Hero, this will be the last you see of either of them for a while. If you side with Letta because you have a thing for crazy women, which I can't really blame you there, Ansbach just dies and Letta leaves without targeting anybody else. If you save Ansbach so Lita doesn't pleasure herself from drinking all his blood, then she still leaves and Ansbach's quest is finished. Congrats, you didn't murder every single person on your journey. Yet. The next dungeon you run into is Destiny 2's Shadowkeep. It's filled with shadow people. Holy shit, who could have guessed that one? But it also has these little dickweeds and a bunch of these fire knights who can kiss my ass. Not only are they annoying to deal with, but they never want to drop their weapons or armor for me. I just want your goddamn chest piece. Stop giving me fucking smithing stones. The next boss is Moto Moto. Not gonna lie, this boss is dog shit. He isn't fun to fight, but it also isn't very difficult. Except his grab attack is the slowest thing I've ever seen and keeps going on for so much longer than it should. I have since named it the Joe Biden handshake. For his second phase, he decides that Moto Moto doesn't like you no more and becomes a fucking porcupine. Every attack now has giant spikes raining down on you like American bombs in the Middle East. Even beating this boss gave me no happiness, only relief that I never had to fight him again. Did I say never fight him again? I lied. You fight him 4 more times. He gets a 3 out of 10. Shit boss. At least they all give you Scalonahedra fragments. Progressing to the top of the dungeon, you finally meet the 4th main boss. When I said Mariko left her son to die, I was talking about him. No, not the snake as this dude. Mesmer, projector of mommy issues. He is my second favorite boss in the entire DLC. This fight is the best example of difficult but fair in the entire game. All of his attack combos are easily dodgeable, sick as fuck, and not complete bullshit. Yes, this is a shot at the final boss of the DLC, but that's for later. This feels like a true fight of skill, where the only advice I have for you if you're struggling is just dodge better. Phase 2, he rips out his eye and shatters it. Okay, gross, dude. And reveals that his little snake buddy is not so little anymore. Now on top of the combos he was throwing earlier, he can summon on his snake like a fucking JoJo stand and send him to rip your tits off and feed them to you. But even all the extra anime bullshit doesn't make this fight worse. It takes a fight that was sick as fuck and makes it sicker and fuckier. That doesn't make sense, but just go with it. Killing Sasuke and his pet snake gives you the Mom Left Me flame, which will be used later on in the story. Messy gets a 10 out of 10. The cutscenes, story, the fight, everything was a masterpiece. Before we go towards the end of the main story, we still need to go explore this entire section of the map. Yes, that includes you, Egon. We'll get to you. Be patient. If you go down these ruins and make your way there, oh hey, it's the Naked Man from earlier. We can now get to the other side of the Shadow Keep, the Sunny Give. This place isn't too bad, and yes, they added a sea monster. Jump in and fight him. Trust me, it's a fun fight. The first boss this gives us access to is Commander Gaius. Fuck this guy. The hitboxes are broken and way too big. Don't even talk to me about his charge attack. It makes me want to jump off a bridge. Phase 2 adds a few gravity magic attacks, and he's nothing special. He gets a 2 out of 10. Get this shitbag out of my face. The only reason he gets a 2 and not a 1 or a 0 is because after killing him, you get 5 Scapino Wrenches fragments. Yes, that's a real word. And find his girlfriend holding onto his pants, which is kind of funny. But she's holding onto them because he is crippled, not because he's laid. He deserves it though. Still funny. Remembrance of the Wild Whore. Fully did not even mean to say whore there. It just came out. The second boss you get access to is just a giant sunflower who is very weak to fire, but he only has one phase and it isn't very difficult. He gets a I'm back baby. Holy shit. Just kidding, he has 2 phases, but he basically just adds a charge attack, so still not hard to kill. He gets a psych bitch, you thought I was dead? Bro, just fucking die already. So it turns out he has 3 phases, and he starts the 3rd phase with a nuclear explosion because he wants this over with more than you do. Even with his Overwatch diva panic ult, he's not a hard boss. You're finally dead, right? Oh, thank God. What pisses me off is that there's only one boss in the entire game with 3 phases, and it's wasted on his dumbass. At least you can use his head as a big slapstick. He gets a 4 out of 10. Our next stop is this little building, Mommy Manor. It'll make sense in a bit. Inside we meet Mr. Y, a nice old man who is hiding nothing at all.
Do mind your feet around the church. You wouldn't want to hurt the little boy.
Hurt the who? There's also the super talkative Knight Yolan.
Be gone.
Mr. Y sends you to find 2 ruins. When you get there, you may have a couple questions. Like, why are there thousands of giant fingers in the ground? Why are we blowing one of them? And who are these creepy slime monsters trying to drain our balls with a good suck? Wait, wrong head, wrong head! To which I say, why are you asking so many questions? Are you a cop or something? After blowing both of the fingers, you get back and is that the boy he was talking about? He gives you one last map to a ruin. And if you come back while he's mourning his dead son, you can search through his stuff and find a hidden passage. This feels wrong on so many levels, but he did give me the map, so fuck it. Then you get invaded by a knight. No, not this one, it's this one. After blowing the last finger, we reach the next boss, Matir, Mommy of Fingers. Told you Mommy Manor would make sense. Turns out this is another outer god like the Elden Beast that crashed and created one of the ruins with all the fingers. It also was supposed to give the 2 fingers from the base game advice it gets from the Greater Will, but the better William just never said anything, so now it just chills down here and tries to catch up on the One Piece anime. But we all know that'll never happen, so we kill it. This fight is pretty easy and not really anything special, except for this crazy shit here it just pulls out of its ass. But before we can kill it, it runs away. She gets a 5 out of 10. Going back to the manor, we get attacked by actual Night Lady, and then also Mr. Y, because turns out he wanted to be the main mommy waifu all along, but needed us to kill the real one first. Our next stop is the Fuck You Woods. There's no other way to say it. This place is fucking terrifying. Oh sick, my immortal horse is scared too. That really makes this better. This also has the scariest enemies in the game, the sheep. Oh, and also these creepy sackheads that literally can't be hit, so you're forced into a stealth section. Just don't let them see you, or they will attack you faster than Twitter fuckboys when they find out you had an OnlyFans. You got it?
I know!
But if you got that dog in you, then you can just parry that shit.
Elephant in the room, I got a haircut.
This entire area just oozes Bloodborne. The sackheads happen to be from Bloodborne 2, but that's not relevant here. At the end of this area, you run into a mansion with the next boss in it, weird spiky cripple man. After beating up the old guy, he decides he's sick of being called a cripple, which, fair enough, and rips his fucking head off. He then grows to be 8 feet tall somehow, and now he's the Lord of Frenzy Flame. What the fuck, dude? That was supposed to be my thing. There isn't enough room in this world for 2 edgelords, so he gotta go. The fight isn't too hard, and none of his moves are too annoying, except that he throws out ton loads of Frenzy Flame, but he is the Lord of Frenzy, so I guess that makes sense. Oh God! Oh God! He gets a 7 out of 10. It's finally time to meet the best NPC in the game. Bale! Vile Bale! You good, dude? I guess not. Now we're hunting Bale because Egon needs his get back. Next you meet this dragon lady who tells you that Bale is a traitor and the reason Perry the Platypus from the base game only has 2 heads, so that fills me with confidence. Now we must climb up the jagged peak to hunt him down, and the build up to his fight is insane. You start climbing up, then BAM! 2 dragons fighting each other. Is this much different than a normal dragon fight? Not really, but it's cool as shit. Next you see that our boy has literally crawled his way up the mountain like he just watched 3 hours of David Goggins TikToks. He calls you the true alpha chat and gives you his severed finger so you can summon him for the Bale fight. The rest of the mountain is covered with bodies of dragons. Newsflash, they were all given a Disney fast pass to the afterlife by the thing that we're hunting, so once again, feeling pretty confident. Finally make it to the top and oh fuck, he's here. Welcome to the best boss in the entire game. If you were expecting this to be just another boring dragon fight, then buckle up your panties because Daddy Bale is about to blow him off. His first phase makes you feel like the main character in the movie. Every attack carries impact and looks like it will crush you to pieces if it even grazes you. His design alone makes him look intimidating. I mean, look at this motherfucker. But if his first phase puts you in a movie, then his second phase is Avengers Endgame levels of hype and badassery. He gets tired of being stuck on the ground, so he grows goddamn lightning wings. He also felt like fire breath was too basic, so this bitch starts shooting fucking lasers out of his mouth. Bale is what people make dragon dildos from because he does nothing but fuck you. It feels like FromSoft took the final boss fight from Dragon's Dogshit 2 and made the Bale fight. And I don't mean ripped it off, I mean literally stole it. Why can't I fight the dragon at the end? You had so much potential! Everything about this fight makes me horny, especially Egon's voice lines.
Curse you, Bale!
Rip the homie. Bale gets an 11 out of 10. Yes, it is more than the max score, but he deserves it. I mean, look at this shit. This shit's so cool! The next stop on our journey to murder anything that looks like it could give us a new weapon or armor set involves Mr. Depression here. He says he's going south to find the purple flowers. So after following him and making our way down the giant hole, we end up at the next boss. Fuck this, his name is Purple Pussy Knight. Purple Pussy Knight is pretty easy and overall isn't a bad boss. But as the final boss of this quest line, it feels a little disappointing. Like when the Chipotle worker skimps on your meat. I know you aren't getting paid enough to fuck me over like this, just give me my goddamn chicken. Pussy Knight gets a 6 out of 10. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. Your mother last night was a little sleazy.
How dare you?
How dare you? You then meet Saint Trina, but you have to become the true Sigma Rizzler and out-simp Talia by dying 3 times before she starts talking to you. Saint Trina, let me lick your feet. You might expect her to try and stop you from going after Mikola, but no, she tells you to go and murder him. She says it's because Godhood would be his prison, but we all know it's because she is pissed after being thrown off a fucking cliff. We are now done with all the side quests and bosses, so it's time to finish the main story before I talk too long and die of old age. The next main boss is the Bug Lady Romana. It's a good boss, but there isn't much to say about her besides the fact that she looks like 02 had sex with a centipede, and I allegedly let her stinger hit me a couple times. I'm just learning the timing, I swear guys. She gets a 7 out of 10. After beating her, you use the Mommy Issues fire to burn a tree and unlock the last area. Insert Doofenshmirtz 2 nickels joke here. We are now in the final dungeon of the game, making our way up to the Dead People Gate to stop Mikola from becoming the god of groomers. Just watch out for Manny from Madagascar on your way up. But before we can make it to the gate, we get stopped by Letta doing her best Gideon impression.
Ah, I knew you'd come.
She decided to kill us because she thinks the Erdtree was guiding us, but I'm guided by the voices in my head and they just want to wear her armor set. Normally NPC fights suck, and to be fair, this one still sucks a dick, but it's a fight against all the NPCs we met on our journey and does feel like a good ending to the quest. Just wish I didn't have to fight my boy more. That won't hurt the soul, man. We finally reached the final boss, the culmination of the entire story of the DLC. What could FromSoft have in store for us?
And my lord brother's soul will return.
There's no fucking shot. Not Radon again. Okay, this is going to suck. And suck it fucking dead. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to piss, shit, and cum at the same time? Well, you better get 143 new pairs of underwear ready, because this is Radon in his prime, and he will force you to learn what it's like, whether you consent or not. You may ask, how the fiddly fuck is Prime Radon here? Great question, because fuck you. If you remember from the lore section, little shithead took Mohg's body for a vessel. Well, this is his body, just with Radon's soul in it, and he has one objective: to beat your fucking ass. This boss is a middle finger meant for every single person that thought this DLC would be easy. I would say this is the hardest boss I've ever fought, but this isn't a fight. It's a goddamn war. Okay, this is doing a lot of damage. However, I know he's about to fucking eat my dick. In his first phase, he uses a combination of sword combos, gravity magic, and blood magic because he's in Mohg's body and he can just kind of do that. Besides the bullshit sword combos that are nearly impossible to dodge. His first phase is not horrible once you get the timing for his combos. Wait, what makes him so bad if his first phase isn't hard? Well, we haven't gotten to phase 2 yet, you impatient asshole. Once you do enough damage to finally make his balls itch, Mikula decides it's time to get serious. Of course, the first shot is just his feet because Miyazaki is trying to give everyone a foot fetish, but I digress. Once Mikula joins is when this fight starts throwing complete bullshit at you. He starts by T-posing and calling down the wrath of the sun. Then he has all the same attacks he had in phase 1, except now there are light beams after every attack trying to rip your asshole open if you roll the wrong way. But this isn't enough bullshit, so he throws shadow clones at you like he just watched Naruto and made it his whole personality. They all suck, but the worst one is right after he throws his shit rocks at you. Don't even get me started on his new combo. Radon, you a hoe for that one. If you are able to survive long enough for your Mimic and Ansbach to get him down to 30% health, he nopes the fuck out so he can come crashing down like a nuke. But even with all this bullshit he throws at you, there's just one thing he didn't account for. I'm the promised consort of Ronnie, and she told me if I killed God, she would call me a good boy. I'll be damned if I don't hear those words because I died to a femboy and his pet who I already killed once. So after nutting the fuck up, throwing on whatever broken build you can, and dying over and over again, it was a lot of times. Why is this second phase that just be such bullshit? We finally beat his ass. Let's go! Oh, I fucking did it. Oh, let's fucking go. But Ansbach and Talia die here, so congrats. Now you've killed everyone. Radon gets an 8 out of 10. With that, the DLC kind of just ends. I wish there was some big cinematic after you beat him, but it's just a small memory, and of course, more feet. I should have known. Should you buy the DLC? I don't know, I'm not your mom, make your own decisions. But I will say, it was pretty fucking cool. If you enjoyed this shitpost and want to see more dumb reviews in the future, then like and subscribe to help me make more people lose brain cells. If you're a little messed up in the head and really enjoyed the video, then consider becoming a member of the channel to help fund my empire of Ronnie Sims. And don't forget to join me next time where we go full monkey mode.